Oregon's first-in-the-nation drug decriminalization law is being rolled back now that the governor has signed House Bill 4002. The Oregon House and Senate passed the bill to reinstate criminal penalties for the possession of small amounts of drugs last month. The bill creates an unclassified misdemeanor for people caught with small amounts of drugs like fentanyl. It comes with a punishment up to 6 months in jail. But the bill also allows counties to opt into a deflection program, referring people to treatment programs instead of jail. The bill goes into effect immediately.